guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's Newsstand, and today we are going to talk about some drama. Even though I said going into 2022, I would avoid it a little bit better, but I'm not. I'm actually not doing that at all. So much for New Year's resolutions. Now, what I want to talk about is this whole Vixen and harassment stuff going around, and I think I might be able to give a little bit of a different perspective on it. But I do, again, think there are lines that have been crossed by both sides. Now, I want to give you a little bit of background to this. Not that long ago, a few months ago, I would say, I made a video about T. Franklin, who is writing Harley Quinn Eat, Bang, Kill for the continuation of the Harley Quinn HBO Max series. And she was being harassed because she made a joke about lesbians, and she was being called basically homophobic for no reason because she is, in fact, a lesbian herself. It made absolutely zero sense, but there were a few people, not a lot, but there were a few people harassing her in that instance. Now, that I called out. So I think it's only fair to call out this also. But I want to tell you a bit about Harley Quinn Eat, Bang, Kill beforehand. And this is a story that has been very well crafted. It is selling very well. Regardless, you are welcome to go to Comic-Con and see that it is selling well for a Harley Quinn character. In fact, it is selling double what the title in continuity is selling. And then to add insult to injury, it is selling so well when it is a free digital first on DC Infinite. So that's pretty good. She has a lot to be proud of with those sales numbers, and the story honestly is phenomenal. I reviewed the first issue. I will put it up in the cards, and I really like what they're doing with this. I like the animated show, and it does a great job of capturing everything within that series. And here's where the mess comes in. Because in I believe it was issue number 4, issue number 6 just came out today. And we saw one teeny tiny panel in the corner where Vixen has a girl in the car that she helped a little bit earlier in the issue, and she makes a joke, and the partition is rolled up in the limo, and it's just a very simple throwaway joke. Not a big deal whatsoever, but because this person is female, this upset a lot of people. And then on top of that, we have T. Franklin herself asking for publicity. Now, this is not the first time, despite what you've heard, that Vixen has been portrayed as bi or lesbian. It's not. It is not even the first time we've seen her with another woman. If you read Bombshells, another phenomenal series. You know what? We're in the Omniverse right now. Bring back Bombshells. I'm going to say it every video until DC listens. I love Bombshells. Marguerite Bennett did a phenomenal job on that. The art was great. Another digital first series that sold very well. Vixen was a lesbian in it. Nobody is mentioning that this is not even the first time. You know what else is nobody mentioning? This is not in continuity. This has nothing to do with the main lines. And we have seen plenty of times over and over and over these stories explored in Elseworld stories with either different skin colors. Oh, wait. Right, because in Bombshells, Vixen is white. And nobody complained about it then. Nobody complained that she was a lesbian then. But now all of a sudden, it is this big deal. The truth is, it's not. This is something that is done in Elseworld stories over and over again. Whether you play with a race, you play with a sexuality, you play with a setting, a time period. We have right now Dark Knights of Steel. There are many things in Elseworld stories. You have more freedom with your creative liberties. You are able to explore without being beholden to continuity. So we've seen Alfred long ago, probably 20 years ago. I don't know how old that story is. Alfred, gay. So what? Nobody complained then. But now all of a sudden people are upset. And honestly, I could understand someone being upset a little bit more if the main part of all of this wasn't, we want good stories. And the fact that it's months late, right? This came out 2 months ago and people are upset, just like yesterday. The story I talked about Superman in the kind of concentration camp, that was 9 months old. It is a lot of people that don't read comics getting the news secondhand and getting upset about it. Now, T. Franklin, I like her. She is a great writer, not only on this, but on her other works. She asked for this. And that's where I think the little bit of an issue is. She basically came out on her social media and said, where's the coverage for Vixen being with a woman who is disabled, or is that only for white superheroes? So she did ask for coverage, and it was quickly picked up and covered by Bleeding Cool, then covered by Bounding Into Comics, and then we all know that a lot of the anti-SJW types use that, and it's used mostly in a lot of videos, right? So she did ask for this, for one, but she didn't ask for the extent of harassment. And if I am looking at this from an objective standpoint, if I was, a fly on the wall, if I called out the people calling her homophobic, I should also call out the people that I have heard calling her much worse than that. Talentless hack. I actually heard somebody, and I won't mention because I'm not on bad terms with them, say that all of DC is getting AIDS. Yes, in a video. What is wrong with you? Why would you say something like that? Like, what goes through your mind that you automatically think because somebody is a lesbian, they're going to get AIDS? Like, I cannot believe the level of arrogance that has to take. Honestly, but I have seen multiple videos, probably 10, and 3 or 4 of them are from Eric July alone, and then multiple tweets on the factor. But to his credit, he did not actually tag her in the post. And then she turns around and again makes another misstep by saying, please report this person. And you can't do that. As somebody that's been on YouTube for a very long time and tried to build up my platform regardless of what people think, you cannot try to deplatform somebody. That is not okay. And I think that really is quite rude when initially, before all of this started, he was just being critical, and that is his right. I would honestly rather have somebody come out and say the disgusting things that he does say and know what type of person they are so I could avoid it. I have always been that way. I want people to have their freedom of speech so I know whether to associate with them or not. I think it is only fair in that aspect. But she did ask for it to be reported. And that's where I draw the solid line that is not okay. You cannot want and pursue someone's livelihood and try to remove it out from under them because you don't like what they say. That is not how America works. Now, as far as the harassment on her side, yeah, it is absolutely there all over again. And I don't know how I like T. Franklin a lot, but honey, you get yourself into a lot of unneeded drama. Trust me, I understand. I'm there with you. But yes, there are people going after her. There are people literally saying what I've already told you, hundreds of tweets, But again, we have to look at it from a perspective of this is their human right, no matter what garbage they are saying, to say it. You have to allow that because it becomes a very slippery slope if you do not allow speech to be free, because then it'll end up being, well, you can't say anything critical. Well, you just can't say anything at all. And that is not where we want to end up. So this whole thing could have been avoided if really people didn't get upset about very silly things that have been done in the past, are not continuity, and are connected to a show, a larger network, where this has already been relatively established, right? So this is a non-issue. The issue here is leave the woman alone, for one. That's silly. Like, there's no reason to go out of your way to hurt somebody. The real issue is trying to deplatform somebody. And I am not the first person you would think of to ever defend Ripa. I'm not really defending him. I'm defending the idea of somebody not being able to report you for nonsense, right? I don't like the man. I don't think he's very intelligent. And I don't think he's very consistent or good or even reading comic books anymore, right? It's an outrage. He loves the culture war. That's what he's there for. But he also doesn't deserve to have his platform removed. And that's where you stepped over a line, right? So anyways, let me know, of course, what you guys think about it. And honestly, don't bother the woman. Don't bother him. It wouldn't be that hard for him to go, hey, don't bother this woman. Don't engage with her. But instead, he makes multiple videos about her when she's done more for the comic book industry good than he probably ever will, which is really weird to me, but okay. All right, I guess so. Anyways, let me know, of course, and let me know what you guys think of Harley Quinn Eat Bank Kill. I've really been enjoying it. I am sad to see that this is the final issue, and I am hoping we do end up getting more. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.